In that case, Jack, just fucking take it away.
Well, it starts with a little warning to the listener. We're going to talk about rape in this episode, so if you've got any kids in the car, turn it up because they're going to think that that bit there is fucking class, mate. Because it's a mad little story which makes no sense, makes loads of sense, has no sources, yet there are sources sourced. But when you go looking for them, it seems like screenshots of a video that may not have existed. The Then I found the video and I took more screenshots of the video because the video doesn't make any sense because the video itself is just two pictures. Yet people seem to really believe in this. It's affecting everybody's lives and the rape is yet to happen, so it's okay to talk about.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's good, isn't it?
No,
I've
at
just
the
set the
moment you've
groundwork
just said
there
nothing.
for. Well, how about I throw this at you then and see what you think of Zimbabwean goblins?
I've never been affiliated with them. I've
No?
never. Nah,
I thought you may have crossed paths once or
we've never
twice.
cropped up on each other's radar, as far as I'm aware. I didn't know they came in that flavour.
Yeah, I knew of like the Great Plains, but not like the ethereal plains. Do you know what I mean? There seems to be creatures over there, and part of this boils down to someone trying to illegally import a goblin from elsewhere.
From elsewhere.
From elsewhere, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Bringing in a goblin from over the border, which apparently the Zimbabwean officials are not overly keen on at all at
Not happy with it.
customs. You cannot bring a goblin over
Is it
over the
on the
borders.
poster? Is it on the where it's got like a big X, a big like the
No
red circle
tobacco
with
over two
yeah,
kilos. No
yeah,
goblins from these countries.
yeah.
No alcohol over
Is it like
30 centiliters.
do they require shots, a visa? What is it?
I couldn't find information that tells me exactly why you can't bring them in, except for the very strong held belief in that area and surrounding countries that if you own a goblin, you can get wealth if you can learn how to control the goblin. So kind of like a Meowth kind of thing going from
Okay.
Pokemon. You can make it make you money or some or something.
Are they just using them as slaves?
That's inconclusive. I haven't found anything out about that. I don't wanna muddy the waters by like just being like, yeah, yeah, of course they are.
Jack, you
And we were a
muddied
bit
the
slave
waters
heavy.
with
We
the
were a bit
first.
slave heavy in the last episode, I think, as well.
That,
So
that's true. Right, but
very, very slave heavy.
you say you don't want to muddy the waters, and yet you started with the equivalent of a bog in verbal terms.
I imagine you would find them in a bog. I would have thought the bog goblin sounds like it'd be a real thing.
I mean, a bog for them probably like waist height, possibly higher, maybe cause them a bit of an issue.
Yeah, a troll bog then in that case, a bit bigger, and if you find a creature in there, I suppose, in it.
Yeah. Right. Well, please go on.
So there's three families that have been victims of these goblin attacks, and
Whoa. So it's got
go on.
whoa. So just now you were telling
Yeah.
us that someone's got in trouble for trying to smuggle one across a border, and
Yes, that
then
was the little
now
teaser to keep you on the hook.
we've immediately gone to three families have been attacked by
Yeah,
goblins.
what I've done, listener, is I've Ferris Buellered you. You're probably wondering how we get to illegally imported goblins. Freeze frame. Three families are victims of these goblin attacks in
Right.
Zimbabwe
So if
so
this was a
far.
film, you've hit us
Yeah,
with
yeah.
like you've hit us with not the end first, but like the beginning of
No,
the
no,
final
the
scene.
end of Act Two.
Yeah, or the beginning of Act 3. You've hit us with at the
Yeah, yeah.
start, and now you're going to take us back to the very beginning,
Yeah, yeah. It's the Fosby flop of storytelling.
right? And you're
I've
gonna have a
gone.
nice.
They did it once. They figured it out. They were like, "That's good. We'll do that now forever."
Are we starting now with this scene? Are we starting with a shot of like the aftermath of an attack at a family's house? Is there?
Picture this little bit here, like a Netflix documentary.
Okay,
You got a Zimbabwean fella
a
sitting on a
Zimbabwean.
chair. Zimbabwean, Zim, the Zimbabwean fella, right, staring down the eye of the camera, as all documentarians tell you not to do, but Netflix do it, and that makes it okay now.
Do the voice.
Please, could you stare down the camera for us, there, Zimbabwean fella?
You fucking cop out bastard. Yeah, carry on.
Too much to lose. So they're staring down the camera, and they're saying. So the thing is, we thought initially that it was a poltergeist, because these attacks, Jimmy, are very, very similar to poltergeist attacks.
Right,
That's
are
the
they
thing.
like copycats?
Almost, maybe, but it's hard again. Hard to tell. I don't want to cast any dispersions on the Goblin community. You see,
Right.
that's not what we do here. It's not a Patreon episode.
No,
So,
no.
so
That's
now
after.
it cuts from the guy looking down the camera to a reconstruction. Now, Jimmy, I want you to imagine in your head some people in a Zimbabwean living room. Now, I don't know what you imagine that looks like, and what the listener imagines that looks like. I imagine maybe you imagine it very differently. Maybe there's very different tastes and things going on, style choices.
There's a lot
Maybe
of
it
patterns.
depends on the income of the family.
There's
Who
a lot
knows?
of patterns.
There could be yes. There's a lot of
patterns.
And breaking up those patterns. What's breaking up those patterns, Jimmy?
Bodies.
Windows. Kind of close in a way, I suppose, but windows are breaking them up. And what's breaking them windows, Jimmy?
Goblins.
With rocks. Right? So they're throwing these rocks through the windows. Now, what's not clear is if the goblins are throwing them through the windows from inside or outside. That wasn't explained in any of the stories and source material I've looked through. But there's actually loads of witnesses to it, which is the maddest bit, because this happened whilst they were trying to do you commit an exorcism? Do you serve an exorcism? Conduct, maybe. Conduct sounds right.
Conduct sounds about right, yeah.
So you've got your little
Invoke.
baton and you invoke an exorcism. Maybe that's a nice term for it,
Yeah.
isn't it? Hey, well, I've invoked. So they're invoking an exorcism in this house because it's not even on a particular person. They just think there's spirits in the house. But this is where they find out they're goblins because they see these invisible goblin creatures throwing the rocks through the windows.
How? Whoa. Explain what you just said. They see these invisible goblin creatures.
Yes. Again, not explained. I don't know if that's maybe some like form of the way different languages translate, you know, like dollar to the pound kind of thing. It's always a little bit off. There's no
You
exact
reckon
science.
they were in camo?
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
actually
yeah.
just wearing real tree like waders, so like a nice mesh shirt.
No, just dressed as rocks.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Yeah, yeah. And picking bits of the pile off themselves and
So
lobbing it
these-
through the windows.
These
Maybe.
masters of stealth and espionage were
Immediately recognised as goblins.
Yeah.
So the master of stealth is a bit lost. If you're the only invisible creature around and people know you're about, people know who you are. It's not the best
failed,
superpower
yeah.
to have. Yeah. At least if you pick the superpower of flight, you're a blur and no one can see your face.
That's true. Now,
You know.
carry on. So that's attack number 1.
Yeah, attack number 2. Bit different room of the house as well,
Switched
I would
up the
imagine.
MO.
Yeah, we're off into the pantry, maybe even the kitchen, right? And what's happening in there? The goblin keeps pouring sugar on the floor and a little bit of possibly barley as well. I think it said in one story, but both stories said sugar. So we'll go with at least just sugar, but maybe more.
Someone
Getting
trying to
poured all
make
over the
booze?
floor. Ah, well,
Sugar and barley.
it's almost like it's a distraction and to prove they've got no footprints because they're pouring sugar all over the floor and nicking all the meat and eating all that out of the fridge. And no mention of footprints in the sugar, which would be a lovely album name.
Footprints in the sugar.
Yeah.
Aye, for like a fucking like an
A
Ed
country
Sheeran.
music.
Well, I was
No,
gonna say, like,
Ed Sheeran when he's put on a lot of weight
Yeah.
and he's been diagnosed with type 4 diabetes.
Yeah, okay, so it couldn't possibly be a winged creature that wouldn't
How-
leave.
How is it? He's have to be strong to be able to pour the sugar if it's a winged creature.
It's got to knock it off the fucking side, mate, like a cat does or something like that.
Oh,
Like, you're telling
yeah, I
me you haven't
suppose.
seen crows and magpies, like, flicking shit about?
Yeah, but I've imagined that it's more so something pouring the bag on the floor, and I'd like to stick with that imagining, to be honest.
Jack, this is your
I
episode.
think it helps with the story.
If whatever, I don't want to fucking do too much interrupting because it seems like you've got a very specific idea for the timeline of this thing. I don't even have a fucking idea where this came from to start with. You haven't given us a source. You haven't given us how you first found out about it.
Oh,
You've just fucking got... No, don't. Do you know what, Jack? Don't.
I was
Save
going to
it
tell you
till
the
late.
source.
You can
but-
save it till an apt time, because you're holding all of this together. I don't want to interrupt too much, because if I
Okay.
make you forget for a second, this has gone to shite. So
So
by
what were we
all
talking
means,
about?
carry... Yeah. I'm going to skin up. You carry on telling this story.
So, but I still ask questions though, because otherwise it's not going to be a very long story.
No, I will.
The-
I'm just
Does
not
it?
going to add too much.
Just a little peek behind the curtain here for the listener. So then there's a third family that was targeted, but this family. Now I don't know how close they all were to each other. That wasn't made clear in any of the sources at all. Not even remotely made clear. But they all seem to know the same community leader, who was known as the chairperson Reginald Makosana. Right,
Reggie.
Zimbabwean fella.
Big Reg.
Yeah, he might be big. And he doesn't want to resort to witch hunters, right? That's what you've got to bear in mind. He doesn't want to bring
Right.
them in. I don't know if it's too expensive. I don't know if they're hard to get hold of. I don't know if they've got busy schedules, and he doesn't want to then annoy the goblins by letting them think they're about to be hunted.
I imagine a witch hunter is like a locksmith. I bet because they've got like a fucking... you only bring them in a fucking shit situation. I bet the call-out fee's massive. I bet it's not on the website. I bet when you fucking go on the website, it doesn't tell you the call-out fee. It just says like...
We answer the
competitive.
phone anytime, every time.
Yeah, we're always there. We're somehow always just round the corner when your lock's just broke. Isn't that weird? What a coincidence. But it wasn't us. But also, that's 350 quid for letting us come to the door, and then £500 for the lock.
But for a discount, seance when you answer the phone.
Yeah. But I reckon the witch hunters probably the locksmiths of like the spiritual world.
Yeah, definitely. The Bigfoot hunters are doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're like not
That's
the hobbyists,
like,
they're professionals, but they're big into it.
Yeah.
They're the lacrosse players, they're professional lacrosse players of the cryptozoological world.
Oh,
Whereas the witch hunters are like the basketballers, maybe even the professional footballers.
Fucked that.
Do you think?
You fucked that. You fucked that. I'd say locksmiths are obviously the witch hunters, and I'd say that like what would be an equivalent like radio fanatics. You know, people who still do ham radio and two-way radio and CB radio. They're in it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
There's no money to be made on that. But if you got on any fucking forum and go, I've just found this radio in my dad's Scania truck from 1998. Can you tell me the make, model, and what I need to fix it? Immediately, you can have 40 fucking blokes, all with train sets in their garage and wearing similar like
and
rugby...
some of the most beautiful wives and their most beautiful wives' beautiful friend living with them that you could ever imagine.
Aye, and a fucking little beard, like it's on death's door, like a little Westie Terrier that it's got a gammy eye. It fucking barks at the dog next door. Sometimes you're like, do you know what? I might just let the other dog in. It's a fucking Alsatian. It'll tear this cunt up. It's costing me so much. It stinks.
He keeps tying it to his train tracks.
And that's why he's constantly on the radio Reddit. But yeah, all right. So witch hunters doesn't want to call them.
Doesn't want to call them in. He would much rather they use a priest or a pastor. So maybe it means he wants to do it in house. You know what I mean? Like maybe they've only got a priest, possibly a pastor on call. Maybe the pastor might owe them a favour. The priest is on call, vice versa. Who knows?
Maybe. Hear me out. The daft cunt is just like, magic isn't real, so let's try and use at least a priest, and we believe in religion a little bit.
How fucking angry would you be though at that? If you like, just for a moment, just think like you don't, and think that these goblins are real, right?
Aye.
These goblins are real. You've seen them, and you've seen them in a room full of about 15 other people who have also seen these little invisible creatures throwing rocks through windows. Then there's another household which is reporting the similar creatures doing weird shit to their house, disposing of the sugar into the tiled floors and nicking and eating all the meat on them. So then,
can I just say, right?
You'd have to be like, you're a bit of a dick, mate. That
second one is fucking bollocks. That second one is proper shite and could literally be a cat or out. Like, could have jumped on the counter and then cleared the fucking sugar that was on the floor. The first one, I'm like, at least someone smashed your windows. Like, an animal probably hasn't done that. But the fucking second one, you're fucking clutching at straws there.
Now,
You're
if you
really
think
clutching at straws there.
Now, if you think that. The third family has one member specifically being targeted, called Namoli. Right, that's her name. And what the goblins are doing to her, Jimmy, what do you reckon?
Fingering her.
Oh, he's very close. He's in the area. They're stealing her underwear.
Ah, read.
But she doesn't believe that she's been raped by the goblins so far, but is worried that it's bound to happen and the goblins are bound to rape her, inevitably sort of thing in the future. From what I've read, there is the fear, and almost it seems when you read it in some ways, seems like the belief that that's yet to come.
The inevitability of goblin rape.
Yeah. Which would be a lovely name for the title, if not for the SEOs and blocking us and everything.
That's also the other side to that Ed Sheeran album we were talking about, Footsteps in the Sugar.
Yeah, the B side.
Yeah.
He's bringing it out old school.
Right, yeah, carry on.
So she's gone to sleep 3 times on 3 separate nights, and I think they were consecutive nights, but they might not be. Now, each of those nights, Jimmy, Namoli was wearing her underwear, right? Now, she's woke up at some point through the night, or possibly even the next morning. Each of these times, knee pants on.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, man. They're fucking... and do you know where she found them?
In her dad's
room. Where do you think
room.
she found them? No, no. Where did these magically end up? From the hands of the invisible goblins, where did they take the knickers of Namoli?
To the house number 2. They're now in next door's Sugar.
Oh, that would be amazing. But no, it's much, much more believable than that. They popped them on the floor next to her bed.
Them goblins, man. Them
sneaky little bastards. You'd never think to look there for them, would you, if you had your knickers nicked?
No, also, if I was to say, like, be hot in me sleep, which, I don't know, you live in Africa.
Yeah.
Like, if I was to take me knickers off when I was asleep, they'd probably end up next to us.
Yeah, and it's not a light bulb memory, is it? It's not something you're going, must commit this to memory, must remember this, must remember that I've done this thing.
Nah.
You'd only remember it if you saw the goblin at the same time, I suppose, which might be what's put it in a memory, but in her subconscious, she's got the goblin, but because the goblin's invisible, she doesn't know she saw it. But that's pure speculation, and I promised not to do that because I didn't want to muddy the waters.
Yeah, you did say that. No one wants to muddy the Zimbabwean waters.
No. It's just not the fair thing to do. Now, we get into an authority now. Zimbra, which is a pretty cool name.
Is that like DEFRA for Zimbabwe?
It's sort of. It's the Zimbabwean Revenue Authority.
Oh, it's HMRC.
Effectively, but also
they're getting involved.
The TSAs. It's basically the Zimbabwean TSAs, right? So you know how we've felt about them in the past, not the Zimbabwean ones specifically, but generally across the board.
The TSA is only in America, but yeah, carry on.
Yeah, but it's the equivalent of that.
Okay.
It's the people who inspect your luggage, inspect goods as they're coming into the country. Customs people, basically.
Customs folk.
Yeah, well, they discovered a thing, and that's what that picture is that I sent you.
Ah, right. So the fucking random... Do you know what? The picture you've sent...
And to see the picture, find us on Instagram, at Truth Seeking, and I'll post it on there so you can see the pictures.
It looks like a fucking job lot at a market that you've bought, but like there's it's
it looks like stuff I'd buy from auction.
It does. That's what I thought.
Maybe stuff I would sell on my website.
So what's in this fucking little kit?
So there's one important thing in the selection, and I'd like you to see if you could point it out for me. If you think you can.
Was it the hoof or something like that?
It's not the hoof, but it's a solid guess. It is, in fact, a ball made of hair with human teeth sewn onto it.
What?
Yes. A ball made from hair with human teeth sewn onto it. They've said it looks like a hair-covered bag with human teeth sewn onto it. And it is, in fact, a chidhoma, which is a South African goblin, and someone's tried to smuggle that into the country. So Zimra weren't happy about that. Now, trying to find official word from Zimra online regarding the chidhoma, very difficult, if not impossible. Can't find it anywhere. I've resorted to looking and even asking various AIs if they can scour for it. Nothing. So they're trying to hide it. And that's where the conspiracy lies. As soon as this governmental body's gotten involved to try and
You
cover it up.
you consulting an artificial intelligence over a non-existent intelligence is a concept that's not lost on us at all.
Mm.
That's a trio of things that borderline aren't real, all trying to communicate with each other. That's fucking amazing. That I'm glad I live on this timeline because that's fucking class. You're not real. They're not real. But you're all talking. It's a beautiful time to be alive. Right, so it's almost as if this didn't happen, or they just
No. We know better than that. We can't be saying this horrible thing didn't happen to this person. I don't believe them. I don't believe this woman's not been getting her underwear stolen by a goblin. Do you know what I mean?
You got damn right of us, Jack. How
Yeah, see.
Aye, right. I take it back.
We're slipping. We keep slipping over to the right.
We are,
and it's not something we can do because we don't want to get arrested. So
this is not a tape podcast. We're not pilling anyone here.
No, we're not here to tell you adolescence is a load of shit. I imagine neither of us are interested enough to watch it.
I couldn't give a fuck. The thing about that, the all this crack about fucking funny how it's a white lad playing this, and it's actually based on this black lad. No, it's not. It was based on like a number of cases that are fucking
like an amalgamation of stories.
Aye, like give our, and also it's fucking not that great. The whole one-shot thing all the way through ruins it a bit. I've not fucking watched it. I literally haven't finished it because of that. But I know what happens.
I've not even started it.
Do you know what, Jack?
I'm not interested in it at all.
Do you know what's better? Anything covering your coob. 10 times out of 10.
I can
10
imagine.
times out of 10, lad. It's like... normal media has been fucking ruined for me now because there's now that can entertain us more than like a good hour-long documentary on a batshit fucking theory or religious idea that makes zero sense whatsoever. Like that's always going to hook us more 10 times out of 10. Adolescence, meh. Love Stephen Graham, but that thing was meh.
Do you think there's a chance with stuff like that where they're saying, oh, we blame Tate for this? But imagine if Mars bars only got invented a few years ago and for whatever reason the additives in there only appeal to 14 to 16-year-old boys. Would it be just because there's something so ubiquitous being taken in by people? In the same way they said that like Pokemon's going to encourage demon worship.
Yeah, but you got to think. Do you remember when like things like Sunny D got demonized when we were kids?
Yeah.
Like that literally happened. Like people want to say this shit and say it's all new and say the world's gone to shite and that. But I remember when an orange juice was the fucking public enemy #1 for a summer. When an orange juice
you couldn't be seen carrying it around.
Turned kids yellow. Like when you had reports of kids getting jaundice. Yeah, I remember
they were getting heart attacks from it as
well.
There
were curfews because there used to be gangs of Sunny D bottles stood on the corner, fucking attacking bands. I remember that summer. It was a dark summer, but also.
And when they had all that stuff in the papers about when you had to sign up, you had to perform your Sunny deeds. It was like 10 activities you had to do in order to be able to join the local roving gang. Like you had to collect 13 bottle caps and then you had to try and put them in other people's eyes and you had to chant that. I can't remember what the phrase was. Dionys or something like that, Sunny D backwards or whatever. But you all had to chant that with the bright yellow caps like lodged in your eyes, holding them in with your eyelids.
Yeah,
it was terrifying, mate. I used to hate when you'd see people doing that because they weren't classed as a proper Sunny D gang either until they had the 13 of them in there.
Yeah,
the amount of gangs you saw of like 7s and 6s roaming round, you're just like, look, guys, just fucking get in a few big groups and divvy up between you. But they just did my head in, man.
Poor
They're just
organisation.
idiots.
Then there was
it's always the downfall.
When it was revealed that the Sunny Delight was actually the church's term for for what the priest was going to get every Saturday night after the older boys had stayed behind. Going to get me some Sunny Delight.
Yeah, that was another part of like the slippery slope, wasn't it? That was what was keeping those original like 5
slippery
and 6
slope.
people.
Cockney rhyme and slang for Pope, obviously. There's another religious
yes, another fucking little tie to it.
There's no ties involved.
That's why a lot of them wouldn't make the full gang. They couldn't complete the deeds because they then got traumatized by these priests who were trying to control the population by trying to stop these gangs from rising up. And it was just a terrifying time. Like I remember, I was like 5 years old, 6 years old, and you keep seeing it on the news. Sunny demons, Sunny D's bad for you, Sunny D's nuts, and all this. And you're like, I don't even understand that last one. It doesn't make any sense. But the Daily Mail, mate, were fucking and the Telegraph and the Guardian, everywhere, all sources. Don't be drinking orange juice. It's bad for you.
Yeah, Sunny D overtook.
Dentists got on the back of that as well. Don't be drinking orange juice. It burns your teeth.
And then they had that fucking football player not stab his wife and her lover, and then go in that chasing that car, and then talk about a glove that didn't fit, and that was another way of just demonising OJ. It was a really bad...
That's the only reason why they did that.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. That's the reason why they build up people with similar names to other people. Like look at all this stuff now about nuclear power and the coils under the pyramids possibly having nuclear fusion and that. And then
there isn't all this stuff, Jack. You've just sent me one stupid article again.
Just before this, and then just before this came out, they spent months building up in the press. Luke the Nuke Littler. Getting the nuke in there for nuclear power to try and get people on side with it, but maybe they're just going to build him up and then Britney Spears him. Hopefully not. I hope they don't. Man. But just when they need to make people be scared of the nuclear bomb again and nuclear power.
We don't want him
because of all this stuff about
wind
farms as well. Because of the wind farm stuff where they had to close down wind farms for like a month and a half or something allegedly because they were producing too much electricity and they'd never accounted for it to be able to have that much. So they had to shut them down.
Yep, because we have to depend on taking shit from fossil fuels as well.
Yeah, so you have to use enough of that, otherwise it'd be too much.
We've got a commitment.
Wind or something, it said.
No, we've got a commitment to basically burning fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Well, that's squeaky, innit? You don't want to hear that.
But to get people in the mood, the mouse is back. To get people like in the mood there to accept like the use of the fossil fuels, they released all these new animals, possibly made from the DNA of fossils. The woolly mouse, bringing up the mouse again. The dire wolf, which has just come back. They've found this other like marsupial thing, I think it was, that they've gone like, oh, this is a new creature. This was extinct for ages, but we found it again on this island. And it's bizarre to me how you can have...
What the fuck are you talking about?
I think it was a marsupial that they've discovered because they thought it was extinct for quite a while and it hasn't been around for a long time. And then they've discovered one on an island somewhere. Now, if you can say that these are gone, yeah, there's probably more. But unless this one's just very old and lonely. Which I kind of like the idea of the lonely marsupial.
Oh, it's been like a battle royale. And like they all took to this island like fucking, battle royale. Or Warzone. They've been having their own marsupial Call of Duty Warzone.
Or Grey. Except they're all marsupials rather than just Liam Neeson and a load of wolves. And this is the Liam Neeson of the marsupial world.
Oh, no. Not a racist...
He keeps digging in about tree kangaroos.
A racist marsupial that pisses itself. God damn it. But in Jack news...
Jack, yes.
Obviously, we'll come back to your goblins.
No. We are at the end of the goblins. That's the end of the goblin story. That's as far as it goes. That's why I found it interesting, because there isn't an ending.
So your conspiracy... Is
why is it illegal to import goblins across borders?
First off, how the fuck a ball of hair with teeth sewn into it constitutes a goblin? I'll not understand.
If people are saying that's a goblin and then they're going, well, you can't import goblins.
I hate this.
Who's made that rule?
This is some sort of shit identity thing going on. This is the woke karate yet again. Saying anyone can be a goblin, it's fine.
Call them goblins. If you call them goblins, it's okay. Oh shit, they've cottoned on. We're calling them goblins. Call them. We'll call them. We'll call them chid homers, and then it'll be fine. It's just fucking.
No, I
bizarre.
think letting anyone call it what they want. Anyone can be a cryptid nowadays. You can call yourself a Bigfoot if you want. And I don't think that's right. That takes away from the rarity of the situation. Also,
no, I would never hairface.
All those you practically are. You practically you're borderline hair face in there. You're like a little
I could pull all my hair down and cover all of
like
my
a little
face, but I'm a bigger
mixed
man,
hair.
and I just do it in the mirror, and I just say it in the mirror for a laugh.
Bigfoot, 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 Bigfoot.
Yeah,
Uh,
never appears, but then I pull my hair over my head and go, there he is.
you've obviously seen the direwolf crack.
Yeah,
It's not
just maybe.
direwolves.
No, it's not even.
It's
I
grey
don't think it's
wolves.
even close to it. Yeah, yeah.
It's
It's a
grey wolves.
mutation in the genetic, in one part of the genes.
They are using
I
no,
think
no
it's
more than
a
one part.
chromosome or
More
something.
than
I
one
thought it
part.
was. I thought
More
they
than
just
one.
mutated one chromosome.
No, no, no,
No.
no, no, no,
Oh,
no. I watched a very in-depth video the other day from a bloke who was fucking far more intellectually gifted than I am, which doesn't take a lot. But this bloke, obviously a scientist in his own right, but he was breaking down a video from the company that are doing this. And it's essentially like they're doing a Jurassic Park. They are saying
of
that
wolves. Lizards seemed all
no,
right.
they're
Lizards,
saying
you know.
they're doing it for like all these reasons, like to improve efforts towards conservation and like obviously repopulation, rewilding and stuff like that. But really, they're doing it to show off all the toys and goodies and like systems they've got, so people will like fucking invest.
Something they could use for war. Surely, if it's an animal that's been made in a laboratory, rights aren't applied or whatever to it yet, because how would it be? It's not a real thing. It's been made in a lab. So then, if you send that to war, thousands of these direwolves released from an aeroplane,
Yep.
just falling through people's ceilings, and then after like the pile gets about 10 deep, some of them start to survive and hobble down this hill of dead wolves and start biting people out of frustration and fear.
Yeah, that's not how I saw it. I was like, you could give them laser guns, or you could,
Oh,
you could infect. You could make sure they were all rabid. Make sure they were
yeah,
all
yeah.
born with rabies and just let them loose. Like, there's many ways, but yeah, they're not dire wolves. They're grey wolves that have been genetically mutated. Although what they have done, because obviously one of the things this bloke was raising was, the point he was raising was like, rewilding is a big issue because you're trying to fill a hole in an ecosystem that isn't there.
Yeah,
So
because that thing's died out.
You're
So
creating
obviously
an
it couldn't
imbalance.
survive.
Yeah. So they've actually tried to do things with that in mind, which is why they've erred towards like keeping things a little bit more grey wolfy, because obviously that exists.
Why not? But why not just breed more grey wolves? Do you know what I mean? And then just
They
be like,
probably
"Here's a
are
few
as
more
well, though.
wolves." It
But
just seems a
different
crazy
people.
thing to be like, "Oh yeah, let's put in these." These wolves are doing really well, and do you know what wolves love? Other groups of roving wolves. That's what they love to bump
Yeah, but I
into.
don't think you're going to introduce them into the same place, mate. Are you?
We're going to put them where there is no wolves. There's been
Yeah,
no
like
wolves in this area for 400 years. Look how much society's
Rotherham.
progressed. But now, today, live on ITV News, we're reintroducing 30 dire wolves and 3 beavers.
To Scunthorpe.
Ladies and gentlemen, open the cage.
I like that idea. I like that. I think that rewilding should be done, but like a lottery, like the Thai army. I don't know if you've ever seen videos of the Thai army. Like the way their drafting process works is it's done via a lottery. So like
Ooh.
groups of lads, I think it's between 17 and 25 or something like that, something along those lines. But they'll get called up to the lottery you really don't want to win, and they'll all be like have numbers drawn or their names drawn like fucking tombola. Whether you go into the army or not, and you'll see all these people like either buzzing, jumping around the room, or crying and trying to run away. It's class. So we could do that with cities or towns, and like you've just said, like we could introduce like this week we are rewilding 12 king cobras. We're gonna introduce them to Spin the Wheel, Carlisle.
And whoever lives at number 43, you're getting the duffel bags in the post.
Yeah.
It's your job.
To undo
And
them.
whoever's at number 54, if you could go and make sure he's okay in 12 hours' time, that would be amazing. It's like all the different prizes, like 6 balls, 5 balls, 4 balls. And then there's just like 500 people who have to ring an ambulance because they've got 3 numbers.
I like this. I like this idea. I think I don't mind because rewilding really. I mean, what we do is we just introduce large predatory creatures to places with large populations.
Yeah, apart from what we do with deer, where we just send in a fella with a rifle. You know, like in the Highlands and things like that, where deer run rampant and fucking you have to cull them.
Ah, it happens where I live.
Yeah. But that'd be
shooting
a good
season.
place for a bit of like megafauna, but violent megafauna.
Violent megafauna is a fucking... We're coming up with some great band names and titles today. Violent megafauna.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Violent Megafauna.
Vegan heavy metal.
And then they come out.
Is this going to be on every episode for the next few?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I like the idea of violent megafauna.
Yeah, because you could tweak the genetics of an elephant to just make them always pissed off. So they're always forgetful. So they're always kind of stressed.
So
the amygdala is just firing all the time because they don't know what anything is.
They do it themselves anyway because they're always pissed.
Oh.
Like they're always... I don't know if like loads of stampedes and the like deaths from elephants are caused because they're eating rotten fermented fruit. And obviously
it's just loads of lads just going, I can run there faster than you, pointing out with the trunks. I can get over there much quicker than you can.
Looking at a 4x4 full of tourists on safari going, what did you just say about me? Why I? Well, you think you're a big man, yeah? Because you got an engine. We can all make noise, son. And just sits on the car. I'll get him, Keith. I'm going to get him. Yeah, I like the idea of that. I think we should rewild. What would you most like to see introduced to the UK?
Penguins would be pretty good.
See,
it's not violent, but I would just like rockhopper penguins.
I'm a massive fan of penguins.
Knocking about everywhere.
Yeah,
they'd just be just see them fighting pigeons and see them inevitably killing off all the seagulls and wrens and stuff. You just rockhopper penguins everywhere.
Gangs of rockhopper penguins stealing from Greggs.
Yeah.
Vaping.
And then you could have.
I'd like to see a penguin vaping. I'll be honest with you.
I would like to see a penguin vape holding it at the end of its little wing.
Yeah, his little flipper.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. Did you see we're connecting fucking dots left, right, and centre?
Octopus in rivers as well.
I'd like to see octopi. I love an octopus.
Loads of them, though. Way too many in rivers.
Just getting out
like because the new beavers are just waving through them, like walking over the top of all these octopi.
They love escaping from shit as well, so I'd like to just put them everywhere and just watch them get back home.
Now you've got nowhere to escape from. You're free.
Stop
messing about with jars.
The homing pigeons of the sea.
Yeah. Cuttlefish would be a good thing to pour out of a plane.
Why?
Because they're sharp, innit?
All right, okay.
And they're full of ink, so they'd make a mess, stain everything.
Dropping piranhas out of a plane would be quite interesting as well, just because they bite all the way down.
What, like Pac-Man?
Just if you got in their way, it's like the most violent raindrop you ever got attacked by. In penguin news, though.
Yes.
Also in helicopter news. Obviously, there was that big crash in New York the other day. Helicopter crash.
Yeah, this is why like the DEI stuff in it. Like now they're letting penguins fly because there's not enough penguins, so they're like, we've got to give them a go.
I'll join
and
that.
They
in
can't
a second.
hold on to the stick.
The head of the family that was in that helicopter was the former CEO of Siemens Spain, telecommunications company. As we know, the heads of telecommunications companies in Europe love to have themselves killed. And it's usually after we've seen this before, the scandals in like Italy and Greece where people working for phone companies found like basically like back doors into their systems from CIA of them monitoring people, and like I think in Greece it was they allowed them to do it for the Olympics, but then they didn't realise that like the CIA just kept doing it afterwards, and then it happened with Vodafone, possibly in Spain, in Italy as well. I'm just saying. Maybe people might want to have a look into what the fuck's been going on with Siemens in Spain over the last 10, 15 years. But same week of that helicopter crash, there's been a lot of helicopter crashes. There was a helicopter crash caused by a penguin.
Okay. Did it fall through the helicopter while the helicopter was flying?
Well, it went...
Just a mystery penguin fell from the sky.
No, the thing is, this penguin's parents... were murdered by an intercontinental ballistic missile. So it was radicalized and it joined this fucking Islamist group in Pakistan. No, this penguin was taken on as luggage. The pilot didn't know that this penguin had been taken on as luggage. Basically, the bloke just went, "Can I bring a penguin?" He was like, "Whatever snacks you want, mate. Gold bar, penguin, club. Not bothered. I prefer wine gum. I like gums when I'm flying." But then this penguin broke out of its container, the Tupperware it was kept in, and jumped on the pilot. Crashed.
Jumped on the pilot, but why was the bag kept so close to the pilot?
It's a fucking helicopter, mate. They're not big.
I suppose, but
it's one cabin.
I don't know. That's a panicked penguin, that.
Yeah, well,
it's jumped straight to the pilot.
Let me fucking put this. Let me build this scenario. You've spent your entire time either on the ground or in water,
at sea level or below.
Suddenly, you're like
above sea level,
couple of 100 feet in the air. You're gonna shit yourself a bit, aren't you?
Yeah, but how does it even make sense that a penguin can look out the window of a helicopter and comprehend where it is and panic? They must have said something to it to scare it. Look at where you are. You're half a mile in the air, sunshine. And he's just gone, "Oh, fucking hell, no, bring me down, bring me down." Panicked himself.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the penguin's had a moment of it. It's come out of its slumber. It had a couple of valleys for the sleep. They were like, this penguin, it's like Mr. T, you're going to have to feed it the special milk.
They heard all this good stuff about an albatross.
Yeah.
They lived up to legend, I'm going to be him.
And then it found itself in the albatross's domain, and it was like, I don't want to live that life. I'm not about that life.
Hats off to the albatross.
Bring me down. Yeah, so penguins are out here doing the Illuminati's bidding. All I'm going to say is that penguin might have had links to the Freemasons.
Maybe because of all the black and white tiles. So you have the black and white penguins. Maybe the black and white tiles are actually just hardened penguin skin, fashioned into diamond shapes. You know that they use in music videos and stuff.
What do they use in music videos?
They always have black and white tiles in music videos that get heavily associated with Illuminati, ritualistic stuff.
Yeah, they love
according
that shit.
to the theorists. Yeah.
They love
but
that
speaking
shit.
of crashes, right? There is another mysterious thing for you, if you like. This is in Nebraska, in America. If that appeals to you, a little bit of Nebraskan news.
Hit me with Nebraskan news.
We're going to Benningham, right? That's where it happened, and it keeps happening. And there's the same account of it from all different people, right? So there's got to be some element of truth to it.
Oh, right. This is another Zimbabwean Goblin situation.
Oh, well, we'll see. I think so. I think so. I think they're getting everywhere all at once, which is terrifying. But objects keep appearing in the middle of this road, right? And people keep crashing into those objects. One of the fellas who was reported crashed into a child's bike in the road because he hadn't seen it in the road, which is a bit mysterious anyway, because you'd think a bike could stand out because of the reflectors, and it being even a child's bike's quite a sizable thing to see in the road. Even at night time, you would notice it because they tend to be reflective.
I mean, even metal is shiny.
The spokes, metal, yeah.
Metal's shiny, yeah.
Yeah. And it would make a shadow across the floor as well from the headlights. You'd notice that. Because of the lights.
That's not as easy. That's not as easy in the dark.
Well,
no.
Well, okay, but the lights could cast a shadow of something maybe running away from the object getting placed in the road mysteriously, and it hasn't, right? So a bit more mystery there. And it keeps happening in the same place. And a lot of people have reported what seems to be the same guy comes up on these people not long after these accidents have happened and says, "Are you okay? Are you all right? Do you need any help?" And then he's also this mysterious gentleman creature, maybe new cryptid, the highwayman, maybe we should call him. He's also been seen to then pour oil on the road as the person who's crashed has left. So as the person who's had the crash has left and said, "No, I'm okay," rear view mirror, rearview mirror job, looking in. They'd be looking to the right shoulder because they're in America. They look into that mirror. They look back. Mad fella who came to check if they're all right, pouring loads of oil on the floor. Almost as if he doesn't want people to be all right.
But everyone has been all right so far, I'm guessing.
It seems it, yeah. But is the oil this creature up in its game? Does it just want to learn a new response to the question, are you okay? Does it want to wear, no, rather than, no, I'm okay. It's fine. Some idiots left a bike in the street. Some idiots left a washing machine in the road. You know, it's suspicious.
Can't tell you, but somewhere on the internet, there is this bloke that's getting tormented, again in America, I don't know where, but he's getting tormented by the same bloke that throws a stuffed toy of Super Mario at his truck at the same stretch of road every time he comes home.
Oh, that's just someone who's managed to buy loads from an auction or something and gone, what the fuck am I going to do with these? I've got to get these in the news so that everybody wants them.
I think it's the same one. I think it's the same one. And the bloke's got a dash cam. Yeah. I'll send you after. It's fucking amazing. And you see the fella throwing it, like, every time he appears from the embankment on the side, and, like, he just appears up, edge of the road, flings this massive fucking stuffed Mario off the windscreen, then disappears down. And he's done it fucking loads. It's to the point where now the bloke, like, in the last few clips of the video, he's like, it's going to be.
And then one day he's not going to be there. That's the start of another film. You see that happening for like 5 or 10 minutes, and this guy going home and telling his wife, "You'd never believe what happened to me." Fucking, you know how Donkey Kong used to throw barrels? Well, this guy threw Mario.
And then one day he comes back, and he's just sad. Love. He just couldn't know. He comes back. He comes back and says nothing. And she's like, "Oh, go on. Go on. What's he?" And he's like, "No, don't." She's like, "No. What did he throw it again? Did you manage to catch him this time?" He's like, "Look, Sandra, just don't talk about it." She's like, "Why? What happened?" He went, "He wasn't there, Sandra. He wasn't there, Sandra. He's never coming back."
No, yeah, and then the record stop. Looks at the camera. You're probably wondering how I got here. And then it shows his whole, like, this whole story of him travelling around in this new small town that he's never been in before, making friends, falling in love, remembering about his wife, finding out the life of this guy that's been throwing the Mario toy, and then going and finding his body somewhere where, like, someone's killed him who's got Wario tattooed on their arm.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Smashed it. What other conspiracies we got this week, Jack? What's been happening?
Other conspiracies. Let me have a quick look. I can't think of anything off the top of my head now. Other conspiracy-wise, I'll have to have a little quick look on my other lists.
All right. Well, you consult the lists, and let me make a check as to what's gone on. England. Nothing much really gone on this week. America, well, they're going back. They're trying to beat the Chinese at maths, which is you're never going to win that battle. You can't slap tariffs on one and then they slap tariffs. You can't out tariff the Chinese. They rule with abacuses.
They've even taken to some great propaganda, though. That's what all these videos must be, where it's all these Chinese women going, "If you want hair straighteners, Gaiyang. If radiators for a Ford, Chengtao." Like that, it's all that. And you're like, yes, mate, this is mint.
I don't know what has gone on in, like, the past. I don't know if it's part of their 10-year plan or whatever, but the Chinese social media, and I genuinely think we were right at the very start with the kitchen, buy a kitchenware.
Yeah, the spoons. They were trying to figure out what would work.
That was it. That was the first start. That was them testing the water. That was the prototype. And I dare say, we had a hand in the massive rise in Chinese social media culture, because now that lass who's singing about car parts is on my feed. She wants to sell me every engine. Audi F4 engine, $1,500. Toyota Corolla engine, $1,400. And she's going all the way through that factory, having a great time, and I'm having a great time with her.
Big factory, though, isn't it? That if you think about how big a car engine is, and she's just got fucking piles of them, and enough room in between all of them for a car to pass between. And
she can climb on them all to fucking sing her songs in full office wear, which she
almost as if they're all welded together and it's all green screened. just to make us think they've got engines. So when the post-apocalypse happens, we're all trying to get to China to get engine parts.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
That'd be good if that was the end of I Am Legend. Will Smith just emigrates to China. And that's it. That's the end. He's just like, oh no, I'm off to China. Thank you for helping me fight these zombies away in my house. I'm going to escape through this little hatch I've made in this fridge thing here. And yeah, I'm not going to bother with the camp that they've set up for survivors. I've always wanted to go. I'm just going to go to China.
I would love that as a zombie film where the person just moves.
Yeah, he's just like, this is silly, yeah, this is dangerous. Tries to sell his house, goes to the real estate place, fucking the estate agent. He's like knocking on, they're fucking never open. I always come past here, no one's ever fucking in. And he's just fighting off the zombies, ringing the phone number, and someone finally answers, being like, hello? Panicked, and he's like, oh, mate, finally, yes, 3-bedroom, lovely kitchen, 2-bathroom. One
Never
of the toilets is a bit loose. Never smoked in there. Never sold drugs from the kitchen. The garden, I've landscaped it 3 or 4 times. I'll be honest, not very well. I'll happily take. Look, I'll 230. I'll take 230 for it. If you can pop it up now, I'll email you the pictures. Energy rating. Have you seen outside? Windows aren't lasting. These things are everywhere. Look, I just want to move. I'm going to go to Leeds. Leeds seems like it might be safe. I've heard some good things on the CB.
I've
been on Reddit getting advice how to get my CB radio fixed. He told me I just needed a few parts. So I found the parts. I had to kill this other CB enthusiast for it, though. Yeah.
Do you want to buy a train set?
Do you want to buy a bridge?
No one's going to get that, but that was class. I'm selling... Oh, he's gone crackled. He's back again. You carry on, son. You're
it's
with
all
us.
right. Just carry on.
I
wasn't speaking.
Yeah, I'd like that. And he's I'm trying to get everything changed over. I'm ringing the bills. No one's picking up. Trying to do things by the book.
I've been ringing them up trying to change over and tell them I need to cancel. They're not answering. I've rang them up to take a new contract out on the gas. Fucking answered straight away, didn't they? They wouldn't put me through, though. Fucking always the way.
They just kept going,
bastards they are. Yeah.
Down the phone.
But then it's the same guy on the other end, though. Then as soon as you tell them, no, I want to sign up, it's okay then.
Yeah. I'll take your name and number.
And on the other end of the phone, you just see him snapping off the finger of his manager next to him and writing on the desk with the blood, writing the guy's name, bank details.
I like this. Yeah, we've got no threats of zombies. I don't think that's not come up. There's not really
nothing that I'm aware of.
Nah.
And I feel like I'd know.
I feel like you'd be on the fucking forefront of that. I think it's been.
I'd be noticing it before anyone else. I'd be like, look, guys, there's zombies coming. I've been seeing it in TV. I've been watching some films from 13 years ago, and I have noticed there's going to be zombies today. And don't ask me how I know, because you don't want to read 30-word essays, each of 5,000 words. But just trust me, today's the day we should all move to China.
I'm probably not going. I've watched this
to China.
Yeah. I've been watching this bloke on YouTube he's like a travel blogger sort of thing, but he's got good crack. It's small-brained American or something like that, and he's currently going through like he does some shady fucking travels. Like he went to China through like Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan through the top, sketchy crossing, and then he's in like the Muslim region. He's in like the Uyghur region of China, which obviously. Fucking where all the massacres and like re-education camps are and shit. So the Chinese, you can get there, you can cross that border, right? But then once you're there, the Chinese don't want you there. There's nothing to take you anywhere because they don't want you there. There's nothing to do really there because they don't want you there. And like, if white people are there, you're getting followed everywhere.
Yeah, it's probably not allowed to leave either in case you tell people what you've seen.
So they go.
So that's pretty risky.
At the border, they check like all his phones and his SD cards and all this shit for any pro-Muslim, pro-Uyghur, anti-Chinese stuff or anything like that. And then like they're walking around this Uyghur town, and they're walking around this attraction, which is basically like a mock-up of the old city, like of how it used to be, which is really weird because they're going around this mock-up of the old city and like all these Chinese tourists are loving it and that. And then you go outside and you go like fucking 100 feet at the end of the street. And like behind this wall that is blocking it all off is that old city. And the old city is just all the people that have been turfed out because they're now in re-education camps. But they don't want to show you that, but they still want to show you like what this cultural experience would be like. So they created like this fake new one, so you can go there. So they started filming in it like without knowing until they literally had this moment of clocking on what they were looking at, as they were looking at the old city, like the ruins, and they're like, "Oh, we're looking at people probably used to live there like the last 2 years or something, or last year or 6 months ago, and now they're just all in camps."
There's still liquid in this bottle of milk here.
They happen to be filming it, and then out of nowhere, there's like this bloke just appears, and they're like, "All right, we're being followed," and then they're being followed for the rest of the whole time in that region. Like, it's so sketchy, man. And like everyone's just pretending this thing isn't happening. But there's a massive like Muslim culture there, like in that part, and like it's dead fucking. You would think it was the Middle East or something like that, but then at the same time, the Chinese just fucking hate them.
It'd be good if when you leave in the area, on one of the sign it says "Thank you for visiting," and there's 2 clearly cut out circles, and you can see a fella watching you through it as you're leaving. And as you drive past, you see him, and he turns his head away. And as soon as you go over the border, he just starts looking forwards again.
Yeah, strange one. I don't think that would be my destination in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Well, there's other regions of China. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I reckon the rural China is probably a really safe place to be if there's zombies.
I don't know. It's a very diverse looking like landscape there, mate. You're going to be dealing with some big issues. I reckon like zombies, because we know that they just run across the bottom of the water and stuff. So
now we know that they're not real, but grizzly bears.
Zombie grizzly bears.
Yeah. We're here to search for zombies. We've heard the sounds of grizzly bears and angry beavers in the distance, and to be honest, we're not too worried about them. Our production team here is only interested in the zombies, and we've only come prepared for them. We've got baseball bats with nails in, baseball bats with chains wrapped around them, and we've got a small submachine gun that we found at the back of the bins behind the police station. No hunting rifles necessary, no night vision goggles, they attack in the day or the night, and we're going to be staying here in these tents because zombies can't do zips.
Notoriously bad at zips, yeah.
Yeah, just cooking loads of food and leaving loads of fresh fish out and stuff. Yeah, zombies aren't interested in fresh fish, so you can leave as much fresh fish out as you would like. This would be a fucking great TV show. You go to places where there's very, very dangerous predators. Not like sexual predators, but like animals. And then while you're there, you pretend that you're there to document searching for Bigfoot, the Greys, the ant people we spoke of last week, zombies, ghouls, gnomes, all the big hitters, right?
Zimbabwean goblins.
Zimbabwean goblins, of course. And
But
the
they
South
are
African
invisible.
goblins as well.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. That makes better TV if you can film something that's invisible and capture that on camera for the world to see. That's TV gold. And very easy to fake if you don't happen to actually find them. Much harder to fake like a gnome, because someone's got to dress up as a gnome, and then you're going to know that they're playing with perception rather than actually finding a gnome. It's just a tall guy like 3 miles away and a camera coming bouncing off of a mirror. Nightmare situation for the crew.
Yeah.
But if you're there and you're like, look, in this area, we're here on the plains, the African plains, and we're looking for goblins. We've killed 5 gazelles and scattered them around us in a huge pentagram, just to try and keep out the trolls and the other monsters and the giants. We're just after the goblins. Now, we have taken down a few zebras as well, and we've placed them with our tents by the side of this river, which we think should help us to lure in a couple of goblins. And then you just maybe CGI the crew getting mauled to death by crocodiles and lions and all this sort of stuff, or actually have the crew killed by these creatures. And then just the presenter from a hot... Yeah, the presenter then getting wheeled into the back of an ambulance, going, unfortunately, no goblins this week, and we'll have more for you next week on Crypto Hunter. Like that.
Yeah, all right. I've got to be honest. After episode 1, going to be difficult hiring a new crew.
No,
When
you
word
already
gets
get them
out,
to sign the contracts before, and you put in some form of weird buyout clause for them.
classic media
Yeah, yeah.
tactics.
Yeah. They've got to pay to not be included in the show and involved in the show if they back out. Otherwise, they're going to be kidnapped legally, contractually kidnapped, and brought in to work on the show.
Again, you could be a future media mogul, Jack. You've got it
I
sorted.
could be in another lifetime,
Yeah.
maybe.
With that note, we've done a tight hour. That's a tight hour.
Oh,
That's
lovely.
it. We're going to switch immediately over to the fucking Patreon.
Come over to Patreon, patreon.com/truthseeking, £3 a month.
Where this is going to continue with possibly the maximum of a 4-second gap. And you can almost like be there with us. And we might even start with a slur.